everybody. Welcome back to the Royal Read. I am so glad you decided to stop by and see what I am reading on today. But before we get started, you know what I'm going to say. Have you subscribed? Go right down here, go in your settings and find the subscribe button and go ahead and subscribe. And while you're in there, hit your notification bell so you'll know when I upload or just when I want to pop in, because I do that too. And give me a thumbs up to fight that unrelenting beast. Oh, that algorithm. It has me by my neck most of the time. I know I am a little dramatic. But also, we have the join button down here somewhere, and that is for our channel membership. And if you choose to join the reading club, you will help this channel to grow, to improve, and to continue. But I just really want to give love to everybody, not just my channel members, but to the people who come and watch my videos, my podcast every day, who comments and who prays for this channel, who just give me a thumbs up, who just suffer through the commercials, just everybody who chips in to make this channel better and better every day. I just want to show you some love and thank you, thank you, thank you. I also want to thank, I have a new channel member. Her name is Lori McGowan. And I just want to thank Lori so much for taking a chance on my little channel and to help me and be just a part of this channel so we can build it into something that we all can be proud of. And I just want to thank everybody. I am in a thank you mood. I know I have taken up more time than I intended to, but I just wanted to show y'all some love. Y'all deserve love because I'm telling you, y'all be in there commenting, talking to one another, giving me thumbs up, doing all that. And you don't have to. And I just want you to know I appreciate it. All right, let's get to the read. First, I want to talk about what's going on in the UK and just really, really say how sad it is that the UK has turned into what it is, talked about other countries for being, being dangerous and being having riots in places that you couldn't go to. I just find it so ironic that these people sit on panels and continue to talk about other countries and stoke up hate and spew hate and division within their own country, and this is the result. This is the result. And I am not, as an American, is sitting on my high horse judging the UK because believe me, we have our own problems of hate and division and racism. It it really is scary, and it's scary for democracy. It's scary for my country, our countries, because once you plant that seed of division, a house divided will fall upon itself. And it is people in the US and people in the UK have built their careers on hate and division. And it's just about to make our houses fall down. And the UK is just showing that this is the result of people like Nigel Farage, or whatever his name is. I think it's Farage, spewing hate. And that what is it that it's another one too. I forgot the name of it. It's a far right party that I think it's UKIP. I think that's the name of it. And it didn't do nothing. I remember the UKIP head of UKIP and his girlfriend, and she was sitting up there looking like she was trafficking. Somebody was trafficking her, and she had the nerve to have disparaging things to say about Meghan, saying that Meghan's black blood was going to poison the white blood of the royal family. And it turns out the royal family felt that way. They push, some people in the UK push back on that, but I don't think the royal family did. They have never pushed back on anything said about Meghan. Meghan never was protected, ever. People could say some of the nastiest things about her, like that UKIP leader's girlfriend. She was saying that it was going to result in a black king. She said some of the racist, just horrible things, and they never pushed back on it. Parliament, the women and the men of Parliament, I think it was a few men in Parliament, they pushed back, but the royal family never pushed back. They never cared enough to push back. And now this is the result. While I was watching all this, I was thinking about Charles and what he's doing. He's probably foraging for mushrooms like he was doing when his mama was dying. He is such a waste of space. I remember during the time of COVID, the Queen got on television and spoke to her people. And I saw people on YouTube, and a lot of people were doing interviews saying that it made them feel better that the Queen had came out and said something. It was like their grandmothers telling them that everything was going to be okay. But the UK doesn't have that kind of figure anymore. What Charles gonna say? What Camilla's gonna say? Now they was in a hurry to call her queen, but what good is she? What good is he? I saw a picture someone had made on X, formerly known as Twitter, with Charles sitting on the throne with all these stolen jewels and all this fur, all his regalia. And in the back of him was all this chaos with the fires and the things that are going on in these towns in the UK. And he's just sitting there. And to me, that's very profound because that's pretty much him in a nutshell, him and Camilla. They got they 43 million extra dollars and they're in Scotland. Could care less about what's going on in their country. He is the head of state and he has not opened his mouth to have any kind of compassionate word to his people. He doesn't have enough sway. He doesn't have enough gravitas like the queen who could get on there and tell them to knock it off. This is not who we are. Charles can't get up there and say that because the people know that is who he is. Because he allowed broadcasters, so-called royal experts, told trolls, hags, the Rangers, you name it, to bully his black daughter-in-law. And he never opened his mouth to protect her. He does not have any gravitas to say anything to anybody. He has always been a man who looked out for himself, even when it came to his child. He would use his children to improve his own popularity. He could care less about their mental health or anything like that. It has always been about him. He has no sway. He has no gravitas. He has no weight when it comes to the UK people. He just got to the point where they're not throwing eggs at him anymore since he got cancer, since he says he has cancer. And I thought that picture was so profound. That's him sitting on a throne while Rome burns. Just, just, just like Nero, just like that king. Sit on his throne while Rome burns. And Charles sit on his throne up there in Balmoral or wherever it is in Scotland while his country is on fire. And he doesn't have enough sway. He doesn't have enough gravitas. He doesn't have enough weight with his people to do anything about it. Because if he did, they wouldn't do nothing but laugh at him, call him names, shout him down, throw an egg at him. It's sad. The queen is missed. I bet you it is so many people talking about how the queen is missed. You know, one thing about Elizabeth II, she had gravitas, she had sway, and she conducted herself like you would think a queen would be. She wasn't hopping from bed to bed. She was not cheating on her spouse. Elizabeth II conducted herself as a sovereign, and that's why people respected her all over the world. When you said that, you were going to have audience with the queen, that was a big deal. If Charles was on my porch, I would not go out there to see. I would tell him to get off of it because I didn't know him like that. That's the kind of sway he got. And if you really want to see what kind of sway he got, he should come to America. Like I said, half of the people don't know who he is. The other half don't. The half of that half don't care, and a very sliver of people would probably receive him positively because he is not respected in his own country. And so I thought about what Harry said, his quote. He said, "Our country is judged globally by the state of our press and our government, both of which I believe, are rock bottom." And the only thing that I disagree with Harry about that statement that he did not add in the monarchy. It's at rock bottom too. And like I said, I am an American. I'm not standing in judgment of the UK because look who we have running for president. The world is in trouble. The UK is in trouble, and so is the United States. I thought it was so ironic when I saw the statements. Well, when I saw this, and it was in the Mirror, and it says 4 countries issue alert warning passengers to stay away from the UK area amidst riots. Several more countries, including Australia, Nigeria, Malaysia, and Indonesia, have warned their residents against traveling to the UK. I thought it was so ironic. And Nigeria was one of the first ones who jumped on that. And the reason they did that is the way the UK press, which is at rock bottom, like Harry said, tried to smear them. tried to tried to say that they were crime riddled and just talked about their country in a way wi- at a level of disrespect nobody should have for another country. That's what GB News and I don't even want to go through the list of them, but they did that. So Nigeria said the minute this came down, Nigeria hopped on it and said, well, we're putting out a travel advisory against y'all. Y'all are not safe. Y'all are crime ridden. And my whole thing is every country has its problem. America has its problem. The UK has its problem. Nigeria has its problem. Colombia has its problem. But that doesn't mean that they're not wonderful countries. I live in a big city. It has its problem, but it's beautiful places within the city. And the crime segment of this city is very small, just like the crime segment of these countries are very small. But the UK media wanted to smear Nigeria, wanted to smear Colombia, and now look, isn't it ironic? Isn't it ironic? Nigeria is in return smearing it. It's not even a smear. They're actually telling the truth. These other now, the UK media was actually trying to smear Nigeria. Nigeria is just telling the truth and protecting its citizens, and then also getting some satisfaction out of it too, out of karma. But let's get back to Charles, who is useless. He's useless in this situation. I thought about what he was doing when his mom was laying dying, foraging for mushrooms. And I wonder now that his country is going through all of this trauma, is he foraging for mushrooms now? I wouldn't be surprised. Because at the end of the day, Charles don't care about anybody except Charles and being king and being bowed to and his pen not being leaky and not having a whole lot of stuff on his desk. Just that's him. He don't care about his sons. He don't care about anything except anybody who is catering to him. I saw this, and it is in the Daily Beast. Tom Sykes, of course, because that's who they run to when they have something to say. William run to it with his salty tears, and Charles run to him with his salty tears because the Daily Beast is a U.S. publication, and that's how they talk to Harry, and they try to influence the American public, which is crazy to me because before Harry moved to America, they could care less about what we thought because we didn't think anything because we didn't care about them. But all of a sudden, they care about what Americans think because they don't want Americans to love Harry and Meghan. But let's get into this. It says Prince Harry and Markle's Colombia tour stokes tension with King Charles. Why would it? Why would it do that? It's not a Commonwealth country. It's in South America. It don't have anything to do with the UK. Why would it? Let's read on and then we'll talk about it. One former courtier, or what do they call those? Courtiers, told the Daily Beast, I'm afraid it shows the utter contempt that they have for the king and for a very long established way of doing things. Royal tours have always been about diplomacy, building bridges and reinforcing friendships on behalf of Britain. I thought they said that Harry and Meghan wasn't royal. And Harry and Meghan never said that they were going on a tour. They going on a visit. That's what private citizens do. They don't go on tours unless they are rock stars like Beyonce or Taylor Swift. But private citizens go visit a country. When I go on vacation or I go visit a country. Then I come back home. But for some reason, they want to try to say that this is a royal tour. They want to claim it, but it hurts them to do so. Let's go on. The tour may well have the noblest intention, but it is clearly not being carried out on behalf of Britain. So what? So what? They private citizens. It's on behalf of themselves, and they have never said that anything that they do is on behalf of Britain. Why are you so salty? Could it be because it's successful and you wish it was on behalf of Britain? So Britain could take credit for it? Let's go on. And yet they still basically betray them. Okay, wait a minute. The tour may as well have a noblest intention, but it is clearly not being carried out on behalf of Britain. And yet they still basically betray themselves as British royals. They do not. How can you portray yourself as, well, they are British royals. They are British royals because Harry is British and he is royal. Meghan is not British, but she's royal because she married to Harry. What is he talking about? When you just kind of map it out like that, what is he talking about? Let's go on. It shows you exactly why the royals want these two kept as far away as possible. They live a continent away. They're going to South America. That's an ocean away from you. What are you talking about? It is certainly true that the trip to Colombia later this month casts an interesting light on exactly why King Charles III, as many believe, is failing to use his influence to get Harry the automatic protection in the UK. Not, that he so desires. There you go, right there. It's within Charles' power to give Harry security. And Harry knows that. He knows that. And now everybody knows it. But this part right here where it says, it's certainly true that the trip to Colombia later this month casts a interesting light on exactly why King Charles III, as many believe, is failed to use his influence to give him um, uh, security, protection. It casts a light on why Charles. And you know what that is? Harry and Meghan do successful visits where they go. That visit to Nigeria blew them away. Harry and Meghan has never had an unsuccessful tour or visit. When they were within the royal family, their tours were covered all over the world. Everybody covered them. They had a press corps following them, and the British media got mad because the Americans was following Harry and Meghan. They got upset with them. because they just wanted it to be the royal rota. You remember that? That's how big Harry and Meghan was. They are salty because when Harry and Meghan does things like this, it shows them up for who they are. And that's liking. They are liking. They show them up as mediocre. Harry and Meghan go when they went to Nigeria, it showed them up. And basically, Charles and Camilla and Kate and William are not doing anything. I can't remember where I saw it. I think it was one of the Squatty's content creators, and she was saying instead of Kate taking, if she's really ill, focusing in on helping other cancer survivors and victims, being a help to them and an inspiration. Instead, Kate is going to tennis matches and William is going to football games. That's who they are. That's who they are. And Harry shaded them on that tabloids on trial. He said it exactly the way it needed to be said. And this is what Harry and Meghan is doing. Harry said these are the things that modern day royals should be doing, improving the lives of the people. And that's what Harry and Meghan does. And it shows them up for not doing anything. Like Kate. Kate, what has Kate done? Except she had cancer. And every time she step out, want people to applaud her. What has she done? She hadn't done anything, including proving that she has cancer. Because she don't even look like anybody who would even. Kate looks better. She came to that tennis match tan and looking like she was 10 years younger than the last time we saw her. Well, she did the same thing for Trooping in of the Colors. She has done nothing for other cancer survivors or victims or anything. The Queen, I often think about the Queen. The Queen had bone cancer and she worked up until the 2 days before she died. And Kate has did 2 engagements this year. And they all have been self-serving. And yet and still they get mad with Harry and Meghan because they do things that improve people's lives like modern day royals should do. It goes back to what I was saying about Charles. Why he's so mad? Because he has no sway. He has no kind of gravitas. He has no influence with his people. If he had invested in his people, like Harry invests in people, doing things to improve their lives, showing that he cares about them, showing that he is king of the people and he is there to serve them, he could get on TV and calm things. But if he got on TV, people would absolutely probably throw eggs at their own TV. But they mad with Harry. They mad with Meghan because they actually doing the work. Let's go on. The idea of Harry and Meghan doing these mini foreign tours as they did in Nigeria early this year is disruptive enough for royal planners. But the idea of the couple being able to touch down in the UK and carry out visits to wherever they wish without running it past the palace is the stuff that true nightmares for the king's aides. There you go. That's why Harry doesn't have security. They don't want him to have security because when Harry touched down, I get it right in a minute. When Harry touched down in the UK, he outshined those people because he outworks them. And they want to try to tell Harry and Meghan are grifters. Harry and Meghan needs to get a job. They don't work. Harry and Meghan outwork them all. You know, I saw Kenzie Schofield and that little old rat faced woman from Australia. Her. And they were talking about Harry and Meghan's initiative that that Meghan and Harry was on CBS Sunday morning, and they were talking about that and trying to run it down. And Kenzie Schofield wouldn't even have a job if it weren't for putting down Harry and Meghan. That she should put that down as her job in her job description. And this little rat faced woman from from Australia, she is a pygmy. She is, you can tell she is of Aborigine, is it Aboriginal heritage? And she clearly wants to be a pygmy. She wants to be adjacent to whiteness in order to lessen her heritage. And she's sitting up there talking about Megan. And what has she done? What has Kenzie Schofield done? What has Crazy Eyes done? But yet and still, this is the problem. Harry and Meghan's excellence has always been the problem. And that's why Harry doesn't have security. They want to be able to control him how and when he comes to the UK because they know if the UK people really see someone investing in them, they're going to look at the left behinds and say, why are we spending our tax dollars on these people when Harry and Meghan fund themselves and do more for us? That's what it's all about. And Charles is the weak, sad, untalented, unloved king of the United Kingdom. And his country is having a lot of problems right now. And he is impotent to do anything about it because he hadn't invested in his country at all. He's done nothing. And they care nothing for him. So Harry and Meghan is going to Colombia. And they're going to show up and show out. And then in return, Colombia is going to show up and show out. And it's going to show them up. I have to say it. For the mediocre, they are. I can't wait. And I can't wait for the next visit and the next visit and the next award and whatever else Harry and Meghan choose to do and whoever chooses to bestow an award upon them. Because these people deserve to be showed up. Because they are doing nothing for their people. And it is sad to watch. All right, y'all. See y'all later. Bye.